Welcome to The Right Stuff. I'm Sheena, and today I'm joined by my delightful wife,
Tamara.
So today, Tamara and I are chatting about author Twitter profiles. So basically, all the information that you put onto Twitter when you create a Twitter account for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's start with the images. There are two images that every Twitter profile needs, and the first is the little block that is your profile picture. And that can be a logo, it can be a picture of you. That's typically what that is. That appears in the feed next to all your tweets.
And if you are using your own name for you as an author and not using a pseudonym, it's best to actually use a photograph of yourself.
Yes.
So people connect with people most. So if you can have a picture of a human, that's much better than having just your author logo or whatever. Although some authors with pseudonyms also do use their own pictures. However you choose to do it, that's fine. But if you can, have a picture of yourself, a professional one.
Or a fun one. I think it depends entirely on your brand.
Well, what I mean is, don't have a picture that is fuzzy or hard to see, like who's in it.
Yeah.
Remember, this is your business, so it has to look professional in the way it's presented.
Also, remember that the Twitter pictures are very, very small, like when you're looking on a phone, for example. So make sure that your picture is of your face.
Yes.
And not your full body, and not you riding a unicorn or doing something funny that could be misinterpreted if it's seen very small.
Yeah. So those pictures, they're usually done best if they're a square photograph.
Yes.
That means that they will be scaled down accurately and evenly. Whereas if it's a rectangle, it might be squished, or you might not get your picture in the center of it. So if you're struggling with that, use a square photo, and that will scale it down properly.
Yes. That's the first picture. So the second picture is the banner across the top of your profile. So what that is when somebody clicks on you and they're like, oh, this person sounds interesting. I'm going to click on that person. Then they come to your page. Okay, your page shows all of your details and it shows all of your tweets. And at the top of it, across the top is a strip. And that is the second picture that you need. Some people leave it blank. I encourage you as an author to put a range of covers of your books up there.
Mm-hmm. Or your latest book.
Or your latest book. And more than that, I encourage you to add a blurb for like a two-lined thing or a something into the image to make us understand what it is we're looking at. So not just the cover. Your cover alone will not sell your book. But you can say, this is the cover and this is a murder mystery involving a female detective.
Now available on Amazon or something like that.
Right, because that immediately tells you what it is, where you can find it.
Or coming soon, lesbian thriller, or
Yes.
whatever. It depends obviously on your books.
Yes.
Or you can have a generic one, like Sheena was talking about earlier, where you've got a range of your covers, and you can something like lesbian thriller author or romance author, something.
Exactly. I would use the real estate because people will click on your profile and they will want to know more about you. If there's a field there and you can add something, add something.
It's all free, so just use as much as you can.
Absolutely.
Now, the sizes for your Twitter headers and profile images change maybe once a year, depending on how Twitter's been updating their user interface. So just make sure to go in every once in a while and see that everything is still displaying correctly. And if it's not, go update.
Absolutely. And in fact, if you're an author and you are publishing regular books, you want to update every time you have a new cover so that your pictures stay up to date. Why I would not put your latest book as your profile picture is because that will change and then people will get confused as to who they're talking to.
Because your profile picture shows every time you're in a conversation with someone.
Yes. And the thing is, people don't like change very much, not on that sort of level. Don't surprise them with a new profile pic because then they're much less likely to retweet you if they're already friends with you because they don't know who you are. That is pictures.
Okay, so the next bit of your Twitter profile is your Twitter name.
Right. So you get two names on Twitter. Your name and then your @ name. Right? And your @ name is your Twitter address.
Your handle.
It's your Twitter handle.
So just remember, your Twitter handle will always be one word.
Yes.
So there's no spaces allowed. So if you want spaces, you do have to use underscores.
Or capitalize the letters because it will show. So, for example, lesbian reviews, I've got a capital L, capital R.
But if you had to put it as lowercase, it still works.
It does work, but it'll show as with the
Yes.
capitals, and so you'll be able to distinguish the different words.
Okay, so, and also keep it short because isn't your Twitter handle part of the 114 characters in your tweets?
I don't know if it still applies.
It used to be.
Yeah.
But keep it short because remember, people need to type this out.
But apart from that, you have a limited amount of space that you can put it in. So, lesbian talk show fitted. The lesbian talk show did not.
Okay. And then also make sure that your Twitter handle, especially if it's for a business related Twitter account, so in this case for your author business, make sure that it's something that a user will easily identify you with. So generally, whatever name you're using as your author name.
Yep.
Okay, so don't use something funny, use your author name.
Yes.
Or if there's too many Jane Smiths, maybe Jane Smith author, if you have to.
If you're going to use a pen name, make sure that you have the Twitter handle for your pen name before you use your pen name.
Yes, and the website address while you're at it.
Yes.
If you're going to make up a name, you might as well make sure you have all the real estate to go with it.
I agree with that. Books or author is a good tag on if you're going to use your real name and, you know, there's already a Jane Smith out there. It's Kiki Archer is Kiki Archer Books. Claire Lydon is Claire Lydon.
Yeah, but both of those are fine because you know that Claire Lydon is an author and that's her name that she uses on everything. Yes. Same with Kiki Archer, and if there was another Kiki Archer, you know that Kiki Archer Books is the author, not the other one.
Indeed. All right, so that's your handle, and your name is different. So your name is the thing that appears on the top of your profile. There you can put spaces, so you can have Sheena space, Limos space, Everson. Actually, I couldn't fit Limos Everson in. I had to squeeze it all into one.
Okay, you could have Jane's space Smith. And then under it, your actual Twitter handle would show, which is Jane Smith Books.
Yes, but apparently you're only allowed short names on Twitter. Okay, so that covers names and pictures. And now let's talk about your bio.
Okay, your bio is a small space that you get to describe who you are on Twitter.
When you are filling in your Twitter profile, it asks you for your bio, and that will appear underneath the big banner picture or to the side, depending on what app or computer you're using. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this tells people who you are. This is the single most important space on Twitter for you, because this is where you're going to add all your keywords, so that when people are looking for you, if you've got that keyword in your bio, it will find you. Use hashtags. If you're an author, you need to use the hashtag like hashtag #amwriting, #editing.
There is #writing, there's author as well, like romance author, thriller author, there's
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But there's also lesfic.
Yes.
Okay, so it's LESFIC. So you can say #writing lesfic, 2 hashtags next to each other. So you want to do that, and you want to put in any secondary links. So you've got your main link, which links to your website. Okay, so it's janesmithauthor.com. You put into your main website's space
that they give you.
But then in your actual bio, you can add links as well.
The bio is also restricted in terms of number of characters.
It is, and so you can add a bit.ly link.
Okay. Your Twitter bio is worth sitting down and strategizing over and writing it out before you actually fill it out. Give it a think so that you know exactly what you want to communicate. Because you may find that you want to change up your bio every now and then. So if you have a new book coming out, you might want that link in your bio to go through to the Amazon pre-order.
Absolutely.
Whereas if you're in the middle of writing something, you might want it to go to your website where you have a newsletter sign-up list.
Yes. Now, the thing with the bio, though, I use a pinned tweet as an additional kind of bio thing, because what happens is when you look at your bio, you will see the pinned tweet as an automatic thing, because you can't see the bio without seeing the first tweet. Okay.
Okay.
So what I would do is I would say, if I was an author, I'd go, my name is Sheena. I'm writing lesfic with little hashtags. I write horror, romance, whatever genre I'm writing in. And then maybe something a little bit personal, like I love cats and Mai Tais. I don't particularly love Mai Tais, but do you understand what I mean? And I'll tell you why you want to do that is because you want to engage people on a personal level.
Okay.
So if there's space, do that. And then say, oh, find my newsletter here. And then there's a link. That's the kind of thing that I would look at for my bio. If I was a best-selling romance author, I would put that there. If I had won some sort of award, I'd put that there.
Okay.
Then I'd have a pinned tweet. And I would do a new pinned tweet every week.
Okay.
At least. And that pinned tweet is to drive people to do whatever it is I want them to do.
All right.
So with the review site, what I do is I'll pin my latest review up there. Because I want people to know this is the new review. Go look at it, go retweet it, go whatever. And I get a lot of traction off of that. On my personal Twitter, I put up my latest reviews, my latest podcasts. So it's not just the reviews for the site, it's pins my latest content. So if you're following me because you like me as a reviewer, that's where you put it. And you want to change it up because what you're going to find is you're going to find people like myself who will regularly retweet other people. So I'll go onto their bios and look for the pinned tweet, what they want me to retweet. And if I've already retweeted it, I can't retweet it.
Yes.
So this is why you want to change it up. Even if it's the exact same thing, you want people to be able to retweet you over and over again.
Okay.
So that's how I use my pinned tweet and my bio.
It's a great tip. It just gives you that little bit more real estate because you don't get a lot of characters.
Yes.
Okay. I think an important thing about Twitter is that you can do all of this management on your actual Twitter app on your smartphone or tablet.
Yeah.
You don't need to be connected to an actual computer to do any of this.
No.
Where some social media platforms you do need to be on a computer to do the bigger things. Twitter makes it super easy.
I'll tell you a secret. Twitter is my favorite social media platform, and it's quite simply the most effective social media platform out there for what I do.
Okay.
And what I do is close enough to what authors do that they should all be using Twitter.
Yeah. And I want to share one more secret with everyone.
Yes.
Okay. So this is for those of you who think that designing images is hard. Firstly, if you don't have a smart device of some kind like a phone, go get one. I think it's super important nowadays in terms of being able to not just communicate but stay in touch. And I mean, there are many computers at this point.
Absolutely.
Okay. And this goes into my second point. Well, into my main point. I'm confused. Get an app called Adobe Spark Post.
Yep.
Adobe Spark Post is a free app from Adobe. You have to put in your email address, but otherwise it's free and they don't spam you. I've had this for over a year. It's amazing. And it's got templates for all social media. So it's got the exact correct sizes for posts, for profile pictures, for your header banners, and it's even got free images that you can use. You can put text into it, you can save it, and it makes it super easy to do.
Yep. You can take pictures on your phone of yourself
Yes.
and then put them into Adobe Spark, size them to the right size.
Yeah.
It's super great and useful for all sorts of things. It also means that you can make pretty images with your book covers. So if you've
Quite easily.
if you've got your book cover and you want to add a bit of text from it, or a quote, or a piece, because I've seen what authors do in terms of tweets, and I don't actually want to get into what you should be
Yes.
tweeting at this point, but like you can put a sentence from a review, and that can get some traction for
Yes.
you. So
I just know that some people struggle with the design element because you don't have something like Photoshop, and even if you did, it's difficult to use.
absolutely.
So Adobe makes it super simple.
Adobe Spark is my go-to for a lot of design
Yeah.
stuff.
So that's Adobe Spark Post. It's a little yellow icon, and you get it in the iStore, and I'm sure you get it for Android as well.
If you don't, just get an iPhone.
Convince the firing shots from each side. Okay, seriously, we don't need to get into that debate, but
Okay, but that's enough for today.
Yes.
So authors, go look at your profiles. Are you doing it right? Is there enough information? And would a reader be able to pick up your book just by looking at your Twitter profile? That's your goal.
go do it.
I'm Sheena,
And I'm Tamara.
and you've been listening to The Right Stuff. You can find this and more exciting podcasts by looking for The Lesbian Talk Show on Podbean, iTunes, or Stitcher, because we are a podcast channel. And so we have multiple podcasts, a brand new one every single day. Every day! That's like 7 a week. It's awesome.
So go find them, and if you enjoyed this, please share it with your friends and go give us a review on iTunes.
Yes, because those reviews help us to get into the charts, and that helps other people find us.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Happy writing.